Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and you're very welcome to the two Gaelic grounds for this evening's Bonsecure Limerick Senior Hurling Championship semi-final. It's the meeting of red and green, the meeting of east and south. It's Doon versus Kilmallock in the first of this afternoon's semi-finals, an eagerly anticipated game between two heavyweights, we shall call them, of the Limerick Senior Hurling Championship. It's a beautiful afternoon in Limerick. The sun is shining, conditions near perfect, a little bit of a breeze going from left to right as we're looking down from the Mackey stand, or going from the city end, from the Clare side, from the Clare end into the city end, down to where Doon are warming up at the right at the moment. Doon come here as qualifying straight for the semi-final. They've been a couple of weeks without a game, whereas Kilmallock coming through the quarter-final last weekend after a victory over South Liberties in a pulsating quarter-final that saw both teams have to play 20 minutes extra time. It's Doon that make one change to their starting lineup, but they start with Owen McNamara in goals. Chris Thomas, Tom Hayes and Padraig Ryan make up their full back line. At number 6 will be Darragh O'Donovan, partnering him left and right will be Mikey O'Brien and Richie English in what will be a very dominant and potent half back line. Midfield will be Cian O'Donovan and Eddie Stokes, while up front Cormac Ryan, he makes way for Patrick Cummins. Josh Ryan is at 10, and the youngster, the most exciting young talent in Limerick, or one of the most exciting young talents in Limerick at the moment, Adam English, will line out at 12. Inside, it'll be Dean Coleman, Jack Ryan at 15, and Pat Ryan at 13, who will be hoping to do the damage. For Kilmallock, who were here just 7 days ago, they will have been recovering and trying to recover well to get themselves ready for this game. They come in with no change on their team. It's Barry Hennessy who lines out in goal. Mark O'Loughlin, Dan Joy and Liam English are in that full back line, with O'Loughlin wearing number 3. Centre back will be Kieran O'Connor, followed by Paddy O'Brien and Philip O'Loughlin to his left and right. Robbie Hanley and Aaron Costello partner in midfield, while Oisin O'Reilly, an impressive performer last time out, lines out again at number 11 today, with David Wolfe and Micheál Houlihan, another impressive performer from the quarter-final on that half-forward line. Inside, the experience of Gavin O'Mahony should tell at number 14, while Kevin O'Donnell, who played far away from 15 the last day, lines out at 15 with Graham Mulcahy on the right. It's a game, Matt, that we're eagerly anticipating. Kilmallock coming in as underdogs, but dare I say, might have a bit more to say about the game than we think.
Yeah, probably, Ger. I'd say that's probably a summary of it, but you're right, they were here 7 days ago, and you just have to wonder, a 1 week recovery is very, very little, particularly 1 week recovery after you had been forced into extra time. Now, obviously got here last week, Kilmallock got an awful lot of food for thought that they mightn't have been expected to get. First of all, there was the concession of 5 goals, 4 of which came in regulation time. And like with a potent forward line like Doon, there will have to be a certain amount of tightening up. And I have no doubt that Tony Ward and Jimmy Quilty and Aidan Fitz and the backroom team will have mulled over how those goals came, and they will be trying to replicate it there. Now, if you look at the teams as they're named 1 to 15, were they to line out 1 to 15, and I can say with absolute certainty that they won't, but you would have a matchup of Mike Houlihan, who's on fire, against Richie English, and you would have Oisin O'Reilly and Darragh O'Donovan. The O'Reilly-Houlihan axis here last week were just off the charts. Was it 20 points between them? Absolutely incredible. And but you're right when you say that they're coming up against a very, very, very competent half-back line, because Mikey O'Brien, Darragh O'Donovan, Richie English in club hurling, they don't come much better than that. Up front, then you look at you flagged about Adam English, but like Pat Ryan is in excellent form as well. And if the full forward line were to click, and we spoke about him in the context of the game against Patrick's Well, Pat Ryan, Dean Coleman and Jack Ryan, could visit an awful lot of problems on the Kilmallock full back line. But having said that, you look at the Kilmallock full back line. Mark O'Loughlin is hugely experienced. Liam English is a player that's coming through. Dan Joy is an All-Ireland medal winner. So, like, there's an awful lot of mouth-watering head-to-heads here. But it'll be very interesting in the next 5 or 10 minutes when the action gets underway to see what the actual head-to-heads will be. I suspect somebody is going to be... Doon will delegate somebody to... Mark Micheál Houlihan, and if they do, you know, they will get the grand tour of TUS Gaelic grounds.
Jack Neville, Adam English is also one of the important forwards that we spoke about. Would Kilmallock be tempted to put Aaron Costello back on top of him, a man who's done a good man-marking job on so many occasions down through the years for Kilmallock against what is probably Doon's ace forward?
Yeah, I suppose Aaron probably would have been the natural person you saw to go in at half-back, but he played excellent midfield last day. Philip O'Loughlin has gone straight in on top of Adam English. I'd imagine Dan Joy might follow him out, but then you have the problem of Pat Ryan. Look, Kilmallock and Doon both have to get their matchups right as we start here, and I'll throw back to you there, Ger.
And it's Micheál Houlihan who's coming off to David Wolfe just underneath us. Strike from David Wolfe, and this is just after 11 seconds of play. A brilliant win from the throw-in, and David Wolfe has... open the scoring here. Hopefully a sign of things to come in the TOS Gaelic grounds. I can tell you Pat Ryan is out around the half-forward line. Looks like Doon are going to play 4 in the half-forward line, with leaving their men inside, of course, which are Jack Ryan and the Dean Coleman. As this long puck out comes with the breeze, it's broken off. Patrick Cummins trying to come onto it, and it's back with Dan Joy now. Plenty of company there with Dean Coleman, touched away by Jack Ryan, and it's Patrick Cummins, the late change in the Doon team, that has the first strike at the goal, and it's Patrick Cummins who has tied us up in the Gaelic grounds. We're barely 1 minute old, and we've hit 2 brilliant scores. Lively start, Matt O'Callaghan.
Absolutely, the start you dream of, and of course Kilmallock within 10 seconds to be ahead. It was what they would be hoping for, but certainly the response was very, very, very quick there from Doon.
And it's Micheál Houlihan that's over there. With him is Richie English, that yellow helmet, very familiar. And it's another man that's very familiar. That's Graham Mulcahy. Kilmallock working hard, ball on the ground. Who's it coming away with? It's English who has it. Cross to Mikey O'Brien, turning the fence into attack. But Adam English is gone, and it's Philip O'Loughlin who has it. Loughlin fancies the chance. His hand is in the air. He likes it. It's going up and over the crossbar. Well, we've had a blistering start here, and the Kilmallock captain, Philip O'Loughlin, has put his side back in front as Owen McNamara puts us back out the field again. It's broken off, and it's midfielder Aaron Costello who has it. Short to Oisín O'Reilly. Good challenge from Josh Ryan. Play on to Johnny Murphy. It's with Robbie Hanley. Stick past to Paddy O'Brien. Another long-range striker. Do they like it? They like it underneath it, but it's going to the first wide of the afternoon. They're going to the left-hand side and wide. Matt, barely a chance to draw breath here.
Absolutely, and exactly. We had 3 points in a minute and 40 seconds. Like, it's a barnstorming start to this game, and now we have Liam English delivering a long clearance right down into the Doon full back line.
Something we haven't spoken too much about is the weather conditions. I can tell you, Doon with a slight breeze, and it's only slight. Chris Thomas working it out into the middle here, trying to get Keane O'Donovan onto it, across the field to Mikey O'Brien. O'Brien well blocked by David Wolfe as O'Brien gets a second chance at it, and he's sweeping it down to Pat Ryan. This is danger area for Pat Ryan. I can tell you it's Dan Joy with him. Good work from the Kilmallock defender. Arm is up from Johnny Murphy. Doon with a free, and there it is now. Kilmallock getting bodies back there, but Pat Ryan impeded by Dan Joy.
It's probably a clever foul there by Dan, because if Pat Ryan turns you there, and it's an interesting tactic there from Doon. You mentioned they have 2 inside the full forward line. At that stage, Dean Coleman had come way out. It was 1-on-1 with Pat Ryan inside there. Probably a good foul to give away for Kilmallock.
Just looking around to see the setup from both teams, and Darragh O'Donovan sitting on the edge of the D as we watch Adam English quickly put that one in over the crossbar. So English, his first play of this afternoon is a score. So it's 2 points each, and it's 3.5 minutes odd as Barry Hennessy, not for the first time, is looking long in the Gaelic grounds to see what he can do. Oisín O'Reilly has come short. Darragh Donovan, as we said, sitting on the D, but it's overcooked, and it's Donovan who's come forward with the breeze, decides to have a go, and Donovan likes it. He returns it with interest. And Dara Donovan has opened his account with probably his first score or first piece of action. And the lead swings back into Doon's advantage, Matt.
Yeah, the lead swings back, but we haven't had 4 minutes yet, and we have 3 points to 2. It's absolutely breathtaking start here. And who's to say we won't get a fifth one here? No, I think Doon have intercepted it there.
Well, everything is on the line here. It's David Wolf back to Micheál Houlihan. His twin country. Wolf strikes it, or Houlihan strikes it. It goes over the bar. Well, can this continue? Because this is a fabulous start from both teams. Micheál Houlihan, the latest man to tie up the sides as we watch Owen Mack hitting this one down, but Dan Joy comes and really assuredly gives it off to Kieran O'Connor, to Philip O'Loughlin. Again, he's launching a booming ball down on top of Graham Mulcahy. Mulcahy breaks it. In behind Chris Thomas, it's Gavin O'Mahony who's arriving now, looking for someone on the run. Super hook there by, super block by Tom Hayes. Ball on the ground now. Oisin O'Reilly had made a run, and that was the ball Mahoney was trying to find as Robbie Hanley tries to get it up, but it's with 3 or 4 players. Richie English dispossessed now, and it's Tom Hayes close to the sideline, fouled as he went to the sideline, says Johnny Murphy. And well, the breeze making little advantage to either side. As I said, Doon probably have it, but those flags stationary enough at the moment, Matt.
They're limp enough now. They're not moving that much, but it's just an absolutely frantic pace, and we've had a couple of great scores, Ger, to embellish it all. Like, but you wonder, can they keep up this level of intensity and this level of work rate from both sides over 55 minutes? And you'd wonder even if we here in the commentary box could keep up with it. There's such a pace has been set right from the get-go.
On that point, Matt, like Kilmallock had to play 80 minutes or 70 or 80 minutes last week, so if it is kept up at this pace, you'd have to fancy Doon there.
Absolutely, I think you're a very, very good point, Jack, because you know they'd probably want nearly more to be playing it at their own pace, seeing that it's just a week ago since they had 80 hard minutes with South Liberties.
Well, nothing beats match practice as Josh Ryan comes out the field, and he's trying to find someone short, and it was Dean Coleman who's come way up, just looking right down at the Doon forward line, and it's Pat Ryan cutting a lonesome figure up there. Dan Joy just sitting in front of him. Are the Doon forwards just pulling out, trying to give a bit of space, looking around to see that at the minute as we watch Darragh O'Donovan back underneath us here, the shade of the Mackey stand, as he puts this one down to Jack Ryan and Adam English. It's English whose touch just leaves him off, and it's O'Loughlin, the Kilmallock captain, who's racing out, tigerishly so. Crossfield ball from Robbie Hanley. This is up on top of Gavin O'Mahony and Tom Hayes. It breaks inside. Well tidied up by Chris Thomas. And it's getting it out to Richie English. Much experience, as we said, in that Doon half-back line. Off to Dean Coleman. Favours his left. Trying to find Pat Ryan, who's stolen a march here on Mark O'Loughlin. Ball is on the ground. Ryan with the socks up around his knees. He's coming back onto his favoured left. He strikes it well. Is it going to come inside? Let's wait and see. It has. And that's an excellent score from Pat Ryan, as he puts Doon back into the advantage again, as Barry Hennessy comes long to Micheál Houlihan. What a performance the last day, broken by O'Brien. O'Brien short to Adam English. He'll fancy it here. He lines it up. It's a good strike for English, and that is a super score. No, it's not. No, it's not. Martin Doherty is saying it's Doon's first wide of the day. Martin is underneath us here. It swung away, he said, to that right-hand side. Umpire was quite sure of it as well. And we're awaiting Barry Hennessy's puck out. The Kilmallock half forwards moving this way and that as Hennessy goes for length down the throat of Darragh Donovan. It's broken in behind him off to Graham Mulcahy, and it's well, the pass didn't go. Mulcahy has won it back, and it's Chris Thomas off to Darragh Donovan. Good defence there from the Kilmallock forward line, but come away with it to Doon, and it's Patrick Cummins from way out the field. O'Donovan's putting it high, and Cummins is putting it over the crossbar. 5-3, a beautiful point. That's Doon's second point in a row. They're just 2 ahead now, Matt.
Yeah, that's an excellent score from Patrick Cummins. What an impact he has made. But we have noticed in the first 9 minutes here, Judd, that Kilmallock seem to be going long as often as possible because they recognise the potency of O'Reilly and Houlihan. But also in there today, of course, is Graham Mulcahy with 80 hard minutes under his belt. So it's a different Graham Mulcahy that's there today. Like he was tentatively finding his way back during the regulation time the last time. He exploded into the game in the extra time, and now from the get-go you can see, and he's quite busy anytime it goes in there.
Well, it's Doon by 2 as Kieran O'Connor comes again, trying to find that full forward line, cut out by Josh Ryan in front of Oisin O'Reilly. Back to Darragh Donovan, who's sitting deeper. He's sitting on the edge of that D. He's leaving Oisin O'Reilly go out as Josh Ryan is well blocked by Paddy O'Brien. Aaron Costello pulling on it on the ground forward, something you don't see off of now. And it scoops it to Graham Mulcahy, but he doesn't win it. It's Robbie Hanley now in possession to Oisin O'Reilly. Can cover ground onto that left. O'Reilly strikes, but it's going over the crossbar. And the Kilmallock fans like that one. Good score, Jack, from Oisin O'Reilly.
Yeah, excellent score there from Oisin. He's kind of a streaky kind of player. That'll do the confidence a world of good just to get off the mark, and it's a great score from way out the field.
Well, he's able to pick them off as Paddy O'Brien is retreating for it as Liam English breaks it forward. Kieran O'Connor flicking it, touching it, does well on the third time to Robbie Hanley. Tackle coming from Adam English, but he breezes past him. He's got David Wolfe here, left-handed hurler, swinging and lining up for it, and Wolfe strikes it in, and that's a tie game in the Gaelic grounds. 5 each. And David Wolfe with your latest score, Matt O'Callaghan, 2 in a row from Kilmallock.
Yeah, David Wolfe, he actually loves playing here in the Gaelic grounds. It's not too long ago since he got 8 points in an under-21 final.
O'Loughlin likes that one. And what a score from Philip O'Loughlin. He's second of the afternoon.
It's the exact same score as his first one. A ball to Adam English is over Adam's head, and Philip is waiting there and expertly dispatched. And we talked a lot about who was going to mark Adam English, but Adam English is going to have to stay close to Philip O'Loughlin, and as I say that, he wins the puck out.
Well, a perfectly weighted ball that time from Owen Mack, and O'Loughlin deeming to have fouled. Johnny Murphy didn't like it, and Adam English is going to get his second chance of the afternoon to have a strike at it.
Jackie's right, you know, Jared, there's a roles reversal here when we were talking about Philip O'Loughlin picking up Adam English. It's Adam English nearly has to pick up Philip O'Loughlin, who's Kilmallock's leading scorer as we speak. Adam English made no mistake there.
And, well, the Munster Minor Hurler of the Year in 2020. He's got his second of the afternoon, both from place balls. Barry Hennessy picking out Oisin O'Reilly. Perfect. As the ball is in his hand, it's off to Kieran O'Connor, who's advanced. Short ball to Kevin O'Donnell, who we haven't seen much of in the opening stages. Had some game here last week. He has ball in his hand now, working hard to try and get it back to one of his players, but it's with Adam English. Off to Mikey O'Brien. Long grip is well hooked there by Micheál Hoolan, and a foul. No play on, says the referee. It's back into the middle. Kilmallock working desperate hard to win possession back here, and this is a huge turnover from Robbie Hanley, trying to spoon it forward to Gavin O'Mahony, but well read by Darragh Donovan. 6 in his back. Normally wears 8 for Limerick. It's to Patrick Cummins. Space ahead of him, but it's 3-on-2, and it's the 3 in the shape of Dan Joy, who's out there first, and it's first touch has just left him out. It's on the ground, anybody's ball. It's Doon who are attacking, and it's well, anyone's possession. Is Patrick Cummins, who seems to be coming away off to Pat Ryan. Thrown, says Johnny Murphy, and it's going to be free to relieve the lines of the Kilmallock defence, and the experienced Paddy O'Brien standing over it. But I see Barry Hennessy coming. He struck a few of these last week and had range. He's well back now, about 50 yards from his own goal. This would be a monster score, Matt, but would you rule it out?
No, I would not rule it out. Within Barry's compass, and he has added that to his game this year, and it's becoming a more and more important aspect of the game for teams now to have somebody long striker. Here it's on its way.
And it's going to go, but it's going to go left. Can Graham Mulcahy keep it in? He can. Gavin O'Mahony arriving. Mulcahy getting the second touch. Favoured his left if he can get it. Gives it back out to David Wolfe. Onto his right as he strikes it, and that's a super score from David Wolfe.
Yeah, David's got to the pitch of the game very quickly today. I don't think he got his first point until extra time last weekend, but has hit the ground running. And when you look at David Wolfe and Philip O'Loughlin have combined for 5 points already from Kilmallock's total, it just tells you that these players are ready for it.
And the balance well and truly gotten right this week as Adam English comes to take the puck out, and he does well ahead of O'Loughlin. Lovely feed from the youngster, playing it into Jack Ryan, but sitting on the edge of the D is Mark O'Loughlin. Ryan is now coming to him for company. O'Loughlin looking to turn back to give it to one of his defenders, but he decides to play it through the middle to Kevin O'Loughlin. Advance from that 15 position. Now to Robbie Hanley. Going to shoot, does Hanley. This would be a super score if it was to go over, but it doesn't. It goes to the left and wide. Philip O'Loughlin roaring as it was left the hurley of Robbie Hanley. He thought it was on target.
He did, but the umpire obviously and the referee thought otherwise. But the pace hasn't debated one iota yet, Jerry. It's absolutely frantic, and we're coming up to the first water break. It'll be interesting to see will the water break have an impact.
Eddie Stokes to Josh Ryan, to this angle ball inside to Jack Ryan. He can cover ground too if he wants to. Gets his shot away, but that's going left and wide. Second wide for Doon.
Excellent run inside again though by Jack, and Pat has done it a few times. It completely negates the sweeper, and like if that goes over, then it's a 2-point game.
And it looks like Darragh O'Donovan is sitting back here now. Kilmallock have only just one player inside the 45, and he's coming in the picture now, and that's Gavin O'Mahony, but that man sitting is Darragh O'Donovan, and he's playing it through the line to Josh Ryan, who is taking it forward. Big frame on the Ula man as he tries to break ground, as it's with Philip O'Loughlin. Back to Kieran O'Connor. He's not got too many to aim at. He puts it in space, and like you can see, the Kilmallock forwards have left the inside track, so Kevin O'Donnell has gone out the field, and Graham Mulcahy out the field as well as Owen McNamara, trying to swing it over the Kilmallock half-back line, but Paddy O'Brien measured to that, to Dan Joy, to captain Philip O'Loughlin, coming out, and he's got David Wolfe coming short. Again, looking up to see who we can find, and it's Gavin O'Mahony. Better ball, but Tom Hayes is equal to it. Oisin O'Reilly is on a chance. Well smothered by Owen McNamara. But a foul. This is Johnny Murphy. And a hint and moment of danger, but a swipe from Tom Hayes and Gavin O'Mahony as we had the first real goal opportunity, gentlemen, on 15 minutes, and a yellow card for Padraig Ryan.
Yeah, and it was a very good block by Owen McNamara. He stood his ground, but it's a bit worrying for Doon looking down here at this side. When the ball goes up here, Kilmallock seem to have the numbers, and they're not posing the type of threat that they should have with the personnel now. They have opted for a two-man full forward line, and they're drawing out. I honestly think that Doon will have to change that.
Well, they're one down at the moment. This would probably will put them two down, because you'd fancy Micheál Houlihan on this. Well within his compass and range. Just 4 on the goal line. He's outside the 21, but I'd imagine the Kilmallock's youngster will fire it high and over, and that's exactly what he does. And that is the first water break coming to us now as Kilmallock lead in the Gaelic grounds. Matt O'Callaghan 8-6. They'll be very happy with that opening quarter.
Absolutely. They are more up and up for it, and obviously their tactic is to get the ball in as quickly as possible. And why wouldn't they if you have Houlihan, O'Reilly, and Graham Mulcahy in there? But I think for the last 5 minutes or so, probably you agree with me, Jack, that the ball is coming way too easy out of the Kilmallock defence. That Doon are not exerting enough pressure. They're not pressing forward enough, and I think they'll have to do an awful lot more if they're to go on and win this game.
Yeah, I think Doon are probably playing into Kilmallock's hands a small bit. I don't know. I don't think Doon set out Darragh O'Donovan to be a sweeper. Kilmallock have Dan Joy back there. They're playing it out through the lines. Doon are doing the same thing with Darragh, but it's kind of getting congested in the half or in midfield. Look, it's really tight so far, Matt, but I think Doon probably need to press up a small bit more, because having two inside with Dan Joy, they're not really getting much joy. It's good runs from Jack and Pat, and they have reaped the rewards from it sometimes, but Doon, I think, will want to push up, play man on man. Adam English has been kept quiet by Philip O'Loughlin. We said that with 2 scores so far, and Patrick Cummins probably has been the star in the forward line, and he was only a last hour replacement for Cormac Ryan. Look, it's still very even to call it. Doon have probably been a bit slicker, even though they're 2 down. But Kilmallock are kind of in control. Even that ball there from Kieran O'Connor went way into the corner. Owen McNamara had loads of time in his hand, but it still ends up a Kilmallock point in that same play.
And it's very much Kilmallock should have had the better of that opening quarter when you think about the range of scores as well and the quality of scores that they've gotten, Matt O'Callaghan.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, as Jack flagged there a while ago, like you have 5 scores got from play, 5 excellent scores got here on this left wing. You have Philip O'Loughlin lining up there at left half back, picking up Adam English. He has landed 2 long range points, and we've had 3 excellent points from David Wolfe. Like Jack is right. Like it was injury, it was additional time, extra time last week before David Wolfe got on the score sheet. He has 3 points in this first half. He's had a brilliant start to the half, absolutely. And I'm sure Tony Considine will be absolutely delighted with the way the thing is going at the moment. Now the breeze, as we said, was limp. It has freshened a small bit, but it's inclined to do this. But meanwhile, Doon are attacking here down on our right.
And it's Adam English gone to the far side of the field, blocked as the ball trails in there, and it's Mark O'Loughlin, I should say, out ahead of Dean Coleman. It's with Aaron Costello, short ball to Paddy O'Brien. Oisin O'Reilly in 0 acres of space, and he will run and cover real ground here now. Oisin O'Reilly, for the second time this afternoon, finds his range and finds the white flag. We're a 3-point advantage now, and it's Kilmallock who are comfortable, is the word I would use, just at the start of the second quarter now. Lovely score, great transitional play from the defence to attack. Remember, O'Donovan sitting and letting O'Reilly that space out around the middle, well, hoping that this man, Eddie Stokes, might cover him off, but it's David Wolfe who's gone way back into his half-back line to Paddy O'Brien. 2 forwards inside the 45 to Amat, goes short to Kevin O'Donnell. He can strike it if he wants to as well, and he strikes it in and over the crossbar. 4-point game from Kevin O'Donnell is putting Kilmallock well into the ascendancy here, lads.
Yeah, you can see Darragh Donovan there is calling players to get back, and you could see even in that move Darragh Donovan had to pick up Oisin O'Reilly and Kevin O'Donnell. He had to go at Oisin, Kevin picks it up and scores, and it's that simple for Kilmallock at the moment, and Oisin is in an space here again.
And here we are again, Oisin O'Reilly from the puck out. 3rd point of the afternoon from Oisin O'Reilly, and he is taking off, picking up where he left off last weekend, 11-6, and this, Matt O'Callaghan, is just beginning to get away from Doon.
It is. The margin is growing. It's 11 points to 6, and Kilmallock have really, and we said we wondered what would the water break bring. It has brought a surge from Kilmallock with 3 quick fire points and into a 5-point lead, which is a comfortable lead at this stage. But Jared, there's a long way to go.
Indeed there is. It's clearing long from Mark O'Loughlin, and a big hit in the middle there between O'Donovan and Hanley, and it's Doon who have it. It's Josh Ryan getting forward, has a strike and touch of the crossbar from Barry Hennessy. Tells you that Josh Ryan has opened his account in the Gaelic grounds, and it's one that Doon badly needed. 11-7 now, and that was 3 in a row since the water break for the Kilmallock men.
Could be a very important point. Doon will be absolutely hoping that it will be a turning point, but it was a fine individual score, a great win first of all by Darragh O'Donovan, broke to Josh Ryan. He had quite a lot of work to do, and it was from distance, and it was way out on the left. An excellent score by Josh.
Yeah, they had to get that score they're doing just to break the momentum, and I suppose we have a small break here just to fill you in Kilmallock. It's 4 points to 3 at the break there between Adair and Galty Gales.
And
and who's winning, Jack?
Adair winning 4 points to 3. Slimmest margins according to their Twitter.
It's Robbie Hanley who took a knock from Darragh O'Donovan the last time, both players colliding, and Hanley, well, he's feeling that one, I can tell you, but he's back now. Tough campaigner is the youngster from Kilmallock, as Barry Hennessy goes long to the right to Micheál Houlihan. It's Richie English coming forward, skipping as he comes out of the Doon defence. Tries to get it across into midfield to Cian O'Donovan, but Aaron Costello was equal. It's back on the Doon side. It's turned over, and it's 50-50, and it's Mikey O'Brien trying to break through. Remember, Doon playing without their captain. That is, of course, Barry Murphy, who was injured in the Patrickswell game, as Richie English lovely spoons this back to Adam English, and English plants the foot, strikes it in, and we're back to a white ball.
Yeah, I think Adam English will be disappointed with that one. He looked up, seemed to do everything right. Now, it was from a distance and it was out at an angle, but he's such a sharp shooter that you would certainly say it would have been in his locker to put that one over. But he didn't. Wide it is. It's a third wide for Doon, but I think they've steadied the ship a small bit, but they need to reflect it on the scoreboard.
Coming in cold to this game, of course, because they had the 2 earlier rounds in the championship, and because of both those wins, they qualified for the semi-final. So even, I'm sure they've had challenge games, but there's nothing like championship games, and you can see they're cold in this opening half.
Yeah, you can, and we've often spoken about the direct semi-final route being something of a poison chalice. And like Doon are shown as, there's an argument for and against in this, Jerry. You can argue that a game is the best thing to have. You can argue that a break is the best thing to have for freshness, but I would certainly go for the former, and I think you can see the way that Kilmallock are up for it. But the big question is, can Kilmallock sustain the level of intensity that's in this game, having played 80 minutes 7 days ago?
Well, here's Gavin O'Mahony, short to Kevin O'Donnell. Didn't come off, Doon read it well, but it's as you were. And it's going to be a sideline cut back to the Kilmallock man again. Gavin O'Mahony gaining a couple of yards out the field here, so his angle is opened a little bit as he cuts it towards the goal this time. Will he go for a score? Will he try and put it across that square? Not too many bodies in there, I can tell you. O'Mahony looks like he's lining up for it. They're always a great score when you get them. And the experienced Kilmallock man cuts it in, but it's broken down inside, and it's Eddie Stokes trying to race forward. Tackled by Gavin O'Mahony is too strong, says Johnny Murphy. Free to Doon, and it's Darragh O'Donovan getting play going quickly, and it's Josh Ryan who's over there. But good play from and pressure from Aaron Costello. Here's Pat Ryan back in his own half-back line. Well, we haven't seen much of him because the ball hasn't been where he has been today. Out this near side, it's Cian O'Donovan, brother of Darragh, the Doon centre back. O'Donovan coming in on his left, across the field, getting Dean Coleman into position now, but just the catch wasn't there. It's off to Paddy O'Brien, to Aaron Costello. Normally plays in defence, a newfound role in midfield. Low to Robbie Hanley in the middle, off to Kevin O'Donnell. Kilmallock's shot coming up surely. O'Donnell steadies himself and strikes it in, and the top of the crossbar will tell you that we've a white flag, and it's Kilmallock extending the advantage 12-7.
Ger, that's as good a team score as you will see, as good a team score as there's been in the championship, because it emanated right from the very cornerback position where Paddy O'Brien was involved in it twice. Slow, patient build up to Kevin O'Donnell, and of course we all know the ability of Kevin O'Donnell to finish. Well,
it's Adam English fouled on the puck out, and looks like he's gone across to the far side now. So the Doon management of Tony Ward, Jimmy Quilty, Aidan Fitzgerald, selectors George Alice, Mike Fitz and Seamus Barry making that change just after the water break, so giving Adam English a chance to operate on the far side of the field. He's in the sunshine now, operated in the shade here underneath us of the Gaelic grounds, the Mackey stand, as English for the third time this afternoon facing the goals for a free, and he's out near the sideline. This would be a really good score if he got it, and he has, and his team, dare I say, they needed that. It's keeping them within touching distance. 12-8 now.
Yeah, 4 points is very manageable. Once you kind of approach a kind of 2-score game, then it kind of gets out of control. But when you say Adam's gone out to the wing there, Pat Ryan has also kind of gone in centre forward and is dropping back to win more ball as well.
Puck out breaks in the middle, and coming on was Micheál Houlihan, not as fluid as he was the last day, but still has got a couple of scores to his name. It's Eddie Stokes under fierce pressure from the Kilmallock front guard up there, as Josh Ryan likes to take on these runs. He's a big man and he can cover ground with those strides. Ryan breaking the 45, and have we something special from the Houlihan man? We have. It's Josh Ryan with a fine score straight through the heart of the Kilmallock defence. 2 in a row now for Doon as we approach the last 5 minutes just before half time, and where Johnny Murphy is going to slow it up. It's Jack Ryan going to take some, or is it Patrick Cummins that's in there deep? It is, and it looks like he's going to get some attention.
But Ger, when we think of Josh Ryan, we always seem to think of football, and we seem to forget that he is a very, very accomplished hurler, and right through the underage ranks was a very, very accomplished. And we have seen a couple of cameos, and the game is 25 minutes old, of what Josh Ryan can do. Like, he's got 2 excellent points, and there were 2 great individual points.
Well, danger here as the ball comes long. It's Graham Mulcahy breaking it for himself. Back in is Mikey O'Brien, and he wins it as the ball comes on the ground. It's with Adam English, well hooked there by Micheál Houlihan as Kieran O'Connor comes out. Pat Ryan coming there with him now for company as the green man, which is O'Connor, is pulled, and play on says the referee. It's with Robbie Hanley. Kilmallock in possession, spooning it off to brick flick like to Paddy O'Brien, and he does the same to Aaron Costello, to David Wolfe. Likes this side, well hooked there by Richie English, but it's broken to another man in the yellow helmet. This is Oisin O'Reilly, back onto his left, and O'Reilly turns and he likes it, and we have a white flag, and Kilmallock go back into a 4-point advantage here, 13-9 at the Gaelic grounds.
That's 11 scores from play for Oisin in the last probably 100 minutes of play. Like, that's exquisite scoring.
And it's Cian O'Donovan who's on it now. It's snuck past a couple of players. That's what the hullabaloo was underneath us as Dean Coleman gives it off to Eddie Stokes, and illegally so. Jack, you thought it might be on the edge?
Yeah, I think most hand passes these days, Joe, are on the edge, but I think for a man that's fallen there, I thought it looked like he had a double movement, but Johnny Murphy is far more equipped to make these decisions than I am.
Kevin O'Donnell back to Micheál Houlihan, range no problem. Will he get a block? There is a block, and a super block. 2 in a minute from Richie English as Kevin O'Donnell retrieves possession, and it's going to be another chance for Houlihan as O'Donnell is fouled by Josh Ryan as the ball was played off. And well, we've seen some excellent skills on display from both backs and forwards today, but 2 super blocks within the space of a minute from Richie English there. Micheál Houlihan not as quiet or not as busy as he was the last day, but still very effective and having a big say in this game.
Yeah, very effective, but very, very well policed today. He's not getting that much space and not getting that much opportunity, plus the fact that he's not moving as much yet.
Micheál Houlihan, well, this would do the confidence no harm at all. He is a really assured free taker, and that's the reason why. 14-9 now, of course, his father, Mike Houlihan, a Limerick legend from the 1990s as the puck out goes and breaks to Aaron Costello, but it's a Doon man that's in there, and it's Adam English, I think, but the ball is broken off, and it's Chris Thomas who's way up the field now for Doon. He's way out, and it's Jack Ryan in possession. On to Josh Ryan. Kilmallock back in numbers and working fierce hard. Philip O'Loughlin trying to get on his hand, but it's with Liam English, and Doon, something could be happening here because the ball is not being dealt with. It's Kieran O'Connor who has it, and very assured from O'Connor. He just relieves the clearance now. Richie English going to break the tackle. He's on the 65 near the sideline, across the goal. The umpire is going for the flag, and well, we're back to a 4-point game in the Gaelic grounds, and the latest one coming from Richie English there. A ball belted out of the fence under pressure from Kieran O'Connor, and we're almost at the short whistle. Super score from Richie English. He ain't doing too bad, Matt O'Callaghan, out there.
No, he's attending his defensive duties very effectively today, and like he's after embellishing what is very good performance by Richie so far with that excellent point. And he had nothing in his head from the time he got it, and it opened up in front of him, only putting it over the bar. Here's Patrick Cummins in line for his third of the game. No, it's tailed.
It's wayward. It's the 4th wide of the afternoon for Doon. Barry Hennessy opts to go quick, went off along with the last one. Paddy O'Brien looking to clear that half-back line, and that he does, finding Graham Mulcahy ahead of Chris Thomas, and Mulcahy on his favoured left side. It's coming across. Owen McNamara doesn't like it because it's gone over the crossbar, and Graham Mulcahy shows his class with that score, pushing Kilmallock 15-10 ahead. 5 for the day, almost on half-time as the play resumes quickly. Owen McNamara going long, but Mark O'Loughlin, Sharky they know him as in Kilmallock. He plays it short to Paddy O'Brien, off to Robbie Hanley. Time and space, and looking for Gavin O'Mahony, who's fouled inside by Tom Hayes, and Matt O'Callaghan. I tip you on the shoulder and I laugh because O'Mahony won 2 or 3 of those frees the last day as well. Ball being played in long, and he just steps back into the defender. Clever free.
Absolutely, a very, very important free, and it's a free believe it's going to hand Kilmallock a 6-point lead going in at half-time, which, having faced the Breeze, now the Breeze is only a 1 or a 0.2 game, even if it is that, but psychologically 6 points up at half-time. You just wonder how are Doon going to find the response, or where they're going to find the response. But certainly they will have to press forward more. But you'd have to say that Kilmallock are in trouble, are on top. And we did talk beforehand about Kilmallock's worry about conceding 5 goals the last day. Barry Hennessy hasn't had a shot to save.
There hasn't been an even, I would say, a really potent attack from the Doon men just yet, but we've plenty hurling left in the Gaelic grounds as Doon go short and Kilmallock have turned them over. It's with Robbie Hanley just working desperately hard today are the men in green. It's with Eddie Stokes, and he's fouled by Robbie Hanley as he's coming back up the field. And Jonathan Hayes, it looks like the sideline official on the far side, just holding it steady. This is where it must go from, he says, as Darragh O'Donovan trots out. Tony Ward, Jimmy Quilty and co will want to get their charges together at half-time, get themselves reorganised and get themselves firing. Doon came into the game as favourites for this afternoon's semi-final. We will know sometime north of 3 o'clock what team will be the first into the Bonsecure's Limerick Senior Hurling Championship for Championship Final for 2021. As we watch Darragh O'Donovan hitting that, and hitting Doon's 5th wide, their first from a free, long range it was. Just saps the energy out of the East Limerick men as Barry Hennessy is looking to take the puck out, short to Mark O'Loughlin, taking it back, advancing 13 yards from the goal to Liam English. This has looked like a pre-prepared move as the ball is blocked on the far side. No, it's not. English does a good dummy and it's off to another man with a red helmet. That's Kieran O'Connor to Kevin O'Donnell, tackled by Josh Ryan. Good tackle, says Johnny Murphy. Ball is on the floor now. Winning it back is O'Donnell, doing really well, but it's Eddie Stokes who's come in. Who has it? Nobody has it, and Johnny Murphy is happy to call it at that for the first half play in the Gaelic grounds. A game that was just 11 seconds old when David Wolfe struck the first score of the game to put Kilmallock into the lead. A lead that they relinquished once or twice, I would say, in that opening quarter, but definitely from the first water break and 16 and a half minutes when it was Kilmallock 8-6, they've controlled it from there on in the last 15.
Oh, absolutely, they've controlled it, Ger, and there can be no arguments whatsoever about the merit of Kilmallock's lead at this stage. Don't have an awful lot of soul searching and an awful lot of thinking to do at half time if they are to turn this around, because Kilmallock are they're on a roll and they have maintained the pace throughout the game, but there is a big second half coming up, but at this stage, all the pointers are towards Kilmallock getting back into the county final and avenging last year's defeat by Doon at the semi-final stage. But we've mentioned a number of players there in the context of Kilmallock and getting to this stage of the competition, and dare I say, I won't say have one foot in the final, but maybe have the top of their small toe in the final with a 6-point lead. But we've mentioned the contributions of Oisin O'Reilly and Micheál Houlihan, the threat of Graham Mulcahy and what have you. But a man that has impressed me right through this campaign, and particularly today, who I think has been excellent in anchoring the defence there, is Kieran O'Connor, who has settled into the centre and back role absolutely excellently for Kilmallock, and is an absolutely key player now in their armoury. And going forward, were they to reach the county final, and it would be very, very hard to argue against them at this point. But I do say that there is a second half. We did say that Doon, following the layoff, probably showed a slight bit of rustiness. They came in as favourites. Maybe they're not the greatest of bearers of the favourites tag, but they have an awful lot of work to do, an awful lot of soul searching to do at half time, because if they're to derail Kilmallock out of their stride,
Kilmallock have worked desperately hard, Jack, and we don't know the stats in terms of turnovers and tackles, but if you're talking about just looking at it from the naked eye, Kilmallock are the team that have worked so hard on the Doon puck out, worked very hard in the middle third, and where the problems were the last day in terms of running through the middle and conceding those goals, 5 of which they gave away in 80 minutes. It's relatively fair to say that Liam English, Mark O'Loughlin and Dan Joy and Barry Hennessy behind him have been relatively very quiet back there.
Yeah, they have been quiet, and I said it at the start when Dan Joy took down Pat Ryan like a clever free, and they've done it a few times, and that comes with experience. There was one over there, I think might have been the last puck of the half, Dara Donovan's free, and it was an area of free where it's outside Dara's compass, but he's still going to go for it. Like, I don't know, was it Micheál Houlihan, who's been probably quiet today, give away that free. It's cuteness, it's clever to do things like that. You mentioned there the full back line, they've been largely untested. They're working extremely hard in the middle of the field, and you've seen David Wolf's 3 scores have come from him pulling off. He's in an ocean of space and he's putting them over, whereas for Doon, they're taking these shots under pressure over the shoulder. Now, we saw Graham Mulcahy hit one over in the shoulder. Chris Thomas couldn't have done much better on him, but that's the difference. Adam English has missed 2 when he's relatively open that he would have scored. Kevin O'Donnell has hit 3 over. That, like, he has that space, and when you have time to plant your feet, that it just makes it so much easier, Jaron. They're getting their scores that bit easier. I think it was 5 in a row they got either side of the water break that really turned the game, and since then, I think Doon are probably panicked a small bit. This break will do them good. They're thinking, no, we're 6 points behind, we have to get it in. And you see with Owen McNamara's puckouts, a fair share of them have gone in long, straight in on top of Mark O'Loughlin and Dan Joy. And one of them is always free, with Dara Donovan being a sweeper. I think Doon need to get back to the start when they're working it through the lines. Like, this game is not over, but Kilmallock will certainly be very happy where they are at the moment.
4 for Oisín O'Reilly, Matt O'Callaghan, and it seems that Dara O'Donovan is adamant on sitting at the edge of the D, pulling off the centre forward, trying to protect his full back line, and it's left that space, and it's kind of left more work really for Cian O'Donovan and Eddie Stokes to try and come back and cover off Oisín O'Reilly. He's gotten 4 fantastic scores again today, but albeit being left in an awful lot of room, not taken from the scores, because Oisín is in good form.
Yeah, but it's pulling back the whole team, and that's the point I made at shortly after the water break, that Doon have got to press forward. They'd probably be better off now. They went out straight 15-15. I think it would be their best chance, because Oisín O'Reilly, like he's pace to burn. Like, we know, but we know how he can hurt teams. We know his running ability. We know his ball carrying ability. He's shown them all there again today. 11 points in a game and a half. That's all from play.
Yes.
That is frightening statistics.
Super form from youngster.
If you're trying to counteract it. And just before I go there, we just have a score coming in from Kilmallock, and it looks as if the champions have taken control in Kilmallock. Like here, they're 6 points ahead, 10 points to 4 against Skelty Gales.
Cormac Ryan is a sub that Doon have in reserve. He's a player of immense experience, albeit more in defence. He was named today to start at 11. Could you see him coming in, Jack, and causing some sort of upset to this Kilmallock advance? Doon need something. Yeah, is he someone that can provide it?
They do need something. I think if you brought in Cormac, I think he's a natural wing-back, centre-back that you could put probably himself or Mikey O'Brien or even Rich English at centre-back and free up Dara Donovan. Now, Dara is an excellent man in the sweeper when you don't have someone like Oisín O'Reilly, and it's a catch-22 for Dara, because he's probably told to sit that bit deeper like Declan does for Limerick. But when you have a player like Oisín O'Reilly that's going to pick it up from deep and can run into the spaces or shoot from far, I'd like to see Dara maybe go into the forwards, even go into midfield and let his brother go up a bit further in the field, because I think in midfield, to be fair to Eddie Stokes and Cian O'Donovan, they've worked very hard, but Robbie Hanley and Aaron Costello have dominated inside there. I think if you bring in Dara, he just adds that probably bit of size, a bit of presence. He's a brilliant long-range scorer. I don't think Cormac is an option in the forwards. No, I could be proved wrong. I think he coming on would free up someone to move further up the field. But when you look at the benches, Doon's is still that bit stronger. Like we saw Kilmallock last week, probably didn't bring on Robbie Egan till extra time. Doon have, as we mentioned a lot there, they have Cormac Ryan, they also have Micheál Ryan, Dara Stapleton, these kind of players to come on. Like, the game is far from over, but they do need to change something definitely, Jar.
And that was my next point. Like, the Kilmallock didn't use anybody, and we spoke at the start of the game about the intensity level and about what last week would have taken out of Kilmallock. So, you know, they are going to tire at some stage here. How is Tony Considine going to use that bench? And I suppose the caveat here as well is for Matt, Kilmallock won last weekend in that intermediate relegation semi-final against Fiona Castleman. So their season is over. So he has a free hand. Now, not saying that he wouldn't have had a free hand to use any player on his bench, but that's not in the back of his head. And I suppose, obviously, Kilmallock want to get back to the county final. But we look down through the list of players who are there: Conor Staunton, Paddy O'Connor, Stephen Quirk, Brian Daly, Owen Ryan, Tommy Savage, Robbie Egan, Benny Burke, Killian Hayes, Conor Hanley Clark. You know, experience comes in the ways of Owen Ryan and Robbie Egan, for sure, and Benny Burke, really, who've been here before.
In the shape of Stephen Quirk.
Yes.
Skill and potential in the shape of Paddy O'Connor.
Yes. Who did play here last weekend for a number of minutes, but that's going to be vital.
And a bit of experience in Killian Hayes as well.
Yes. Oh, yes.
You know, and not to forget Conor Staunton.
Yes.
You know, so there is a bit of experience there. There's a bit of a mix to come off the Kilmallock bench. But Tony Considine appeared last week a bit reticent to use it until the closing stages, because Robbie Egan certainly wasn't tied up with the intermediate team. But the game was so finely balanced the last time. You know, you're taking a risk if the game is in the melting pot when you're making changes, or making changes for the sake of making changes, because it's not always the prudent thing to do. But if I could allude back to what Jack was saying there about Doon, I think Michael Ryan is the man that Doon should seriously look to bringing on, because they're all over the shop up front, and the Kilmallock defence is on top. And somebody like Micheál Ryan's experience, I think, would be invaluable. I honestly think that he should be brought in.
Well, Doon are making their way back out for the second half. I can tell you, Kilmallock are gone way over to the far side, down underneath the uncovered stand, and they are having their final few words there to try and get them out before they come back out onto the field of play. Do we have a change, Jack Neville?
Matt just called it there. Micheál Ryan is on there, number 17, straight in midfield. I think
looks like Cian O'Donovan down to our right hand side, and it also looks like Dean Coleman has made his way off as well. So two changes coming on the Doon side.
There,
and that is Cormac Ryan, looking like he's going in at full forward. So yes, Cian O'Donovan and Dean Coleman have gone, and we have got Micheál Ryan straight into midfield instead of Cian O'Donovan, and Cormac Ryan on at 11. So experience in the shape of Micheál Ryan as we watch Barry Murphy coming across the field of play. Of course, very unlucky not to be here with us this afternoon in the red jersey of his club. Suffered an ACL tear, and of course is recovering well, thankfully.
Yeah.
But he'll be gracing our fields very soon in 2022, let's hope.
Let's hope. But you know, the important thing in recovery from that type of injury, as you know, Ger, is time, and there can be no shortcuts if one is to make a full and total recovery. But we wish Barry the very best of luck, but he's totally engrossed in it out there, as if he had a hurley in his hand. But it is unfortunately a couple of crutches he has. Well, he has in his hands, but
Kilmallock are marching forward one by one. That would have been a lovely photograph, just to see all the Kilmallock players in a line coming back down the halfway down the stand at the far side, and they're out onto the field of play. And just a memory, Paul Dowling, my great friend in Kilmallock, was in touch to tell me that Massey Casey, to be remembered here this afternoon, of great Kilmallock and Limerick Gael, huge supporter, would have been here today were it for not that he passed away from us over the course of last week. And we send our sympathies to the Casey family and the wider Kilmallock GA family. And well, a great clubman for many years, Massey Casey, and we remember him here, and I'm sure many from Kilmallock are remembering him this afternoon as well.
Absolutely. I think his funeral is on these days. I think it's tonight and tomorrow, actually, in Charleville, where he had been domiciled recently. So our sympathies go to the Casey family and indeed to the Kilmallock club.
As we're back underway in the start of the second half. It's Doon with a bit of a mountain to climb, 16-10 in the Gaelic grounds. It's Kilmallock, the champions 11 times in their history, as they are pulling Eddie Stokes to the ground here, as they, Doon, are going to draw early blood here, as Adam English going to have this opportunity pretty much in front of the goals. Johnny Murphy, an experienced official from the Glenroe club, saying that the Doon man, Eddie Stokes, pulled back as he advanced, and it's going to be a chance for Adam English to bring this back to 5-point game. And well, English making no mistake.
Just looking at it there as well, Ger, Pádraig Ryan seems to have come out onto Oisin O'Reilly. Dara's still sitting, but he's going to either pick up Kevin O'Donnell and Graham Mulcahy, so it seems like Doon are going man for man this half.
Long strike from Barry Hennessy. Remember, Breeze is at his back. Hand is up from Oisin O'Reilly. It breaks past, and out has come Chris Thomas. O'Reilly gets it, second time advancing. Kevin O'Donnell advancing to the 21. Shoots, goal for Kilmallock! And O'Donnell, he gets us the first green flag of the afternoon. I was going to say a goal could prove a vital score in this game, and Kilmallock, after 1 minute and 20 seconds of play, have steamed out ahead, Matt O'Callaghan.
Yeah, it's suddenly an 8-point lead, and you know, if you were looking for a goal in the context of the game, it needed to come to the men in red. But like you know, Kilmallock went in at half time with a certain level of control, and certainly they look to have picked up on it straight away, and they've got the real boost, a major boost of a goal. A goal in a game like this is absolutely huge in the context of the game.
And in the puck out, it's Kilmallock who win it, and Josh Ryan fouling Paddy O'Brien, and it's a free to the Kilmallock men. As Barry Hennessy coming from the goal, well, this is more like his range. He had one in the first half, and he certainly will have the aid of a slight breeze at his back in the second.
Barry will really fancy this one, Joe. He will really fancy it, and I'd nearly put money on him.
He doesn't even place it. He's happy with where it is on the ground in the Gaelic grounds.
Without wanting to put the commentator's curse on Barry.
And well, Micheál Ryan and Kevin O'Donnell getting to know each other down there. The goal scorer just on the floor, as Johnny Murphy saying, calm everything. No cards going to be issued. Let's just hurl away now, gentlemen. And as Barry Hennessy steps back again, goes through his pre-performance routine here. And well, he's going to bring the free forward, says Johnny Murphy, and obviously a little bit of indiscipline there from the Doon rear guard, and 10 more yards are gathered, as Jonathan Hayes telling Micheál Houlihan to come back just to the beyond the Kilmallock 65, and it's going to be a chance for Kilmallock to go further ahead here. This would be a real tonic. It is a real tonic, the goal. And it kind of makes the game, well, dare I say, putting it to bed, but leaving a real mountain to climb, as Micheál Houlihan from the middle of the goal strikes it over the crossbar with relative ease. And there's been 3 scores in the second half, a half that's just 3 minutes old, and it's Kilmallock who have hit the vital goal, and that point from Micheál Houlihan puts them in a very strong position, Matt O'Callaghan.
A very strong position, in a commanding position, 9 points clear. And the last thing Doon wanted at that stage was to be conceding yardage in circumstances like that. Like they need to focus on the game, and they need to focus on clawing back that lead rather than indulging in that sort of stuff. But you saw Johnny Murphy brought it forward. Now, it may have made no difference. Barry Hennessy may have converted it anywhere. Meanwhile, it looks to me, and it looked at the throw-in for the second half, that Darragh Donovan Graham Mulcahy has moved to centre forward, and he's been picked up by Darragh Donovan in a more conventional centre-back, centre-forward roles. But at the moment, it's a line ball over on the far side, which Gavin O'Mahony is standing over.
He'll be looking to get someone on it. He cuts it across, and it's Oisin O'Reilly 1-on-1. Riley is through. Oh, it just lets him down. Gets a second chance. There's O'Reilly. He's bundled to the ground, and we have a penalty. Tom Hayes Thomas has fouled Oisin O'Reilly in the large parallelogram, and we're going to have a penalty as Tom Hayes and Owen McNamara converge upon the youngster, and O'Reilly in distress. A yellow card for Owen McNamara, but more importantly, he has got the task of stepping up, I would imagine, in front of Micheál Houlihan and trying to, well, keep some glimmer of hope for his team alive in this year's championship. Were Houlihan to get a green flag, it would be 2-17-11 after just 5 minutes of the second half, and well, dare I say, it would be curtains for that kind of an advantage, because Doon, they have just not turned up here in the Gaelic grounds.
No, they haven't, and you say glimmer of hope, like it really is a glimmer at this stage. And I don't know, did Gavin O'Mahony mean to pick out Oisin O'Reilly? But if he does, what a sideline. Well,
Pádraig Ryan is coming off the field of play, and it's Jack Cummins who's come on as Micheál Houlihan's with the penalty. Strikes it, super score from the youngster. The Tony Considine-led Kilmallock team are way out in front in the Gaelic grounds. It's 2-17-11, and it looks, barring a massive turnaround, that they will be the first team into this year's county senior hurling final. Short from the Doon defence and fouled on Chris Thomas as he was coming out.
But yeah, you would have to say at this stage, Ger, that the Doon challenge, it hasn't materialised today so far, but whatever was there, it seems to have gone totally off the rails. Like Kilmallock, within 7 minutes of the restart, have doubled their 6-point half-time advantage. Now they're in an attacking position here at the moment, but Kilmallock look to be on top and look to be able to avert the danger. It's a bit of a scrum down there, actually.
And it's Robbie Hanley that comes away. Not for the first time Kilmallock win that dirty ball. It's David Wolfe back in his own 21. Shows you the kind of intent that's in Kilmallock today. To Oisin O'Reilly, another man who has covered a lot of ground. He puts the ball out over the sideline, however. He had Micheál Houlihan roaring on this far side. Two Kilmallock forwards inside the Doon 65-yard line. It looks like they've retreated a little bit on this defensive play, and it's with Darragh O'Donovan, a man who can cut sideline balls any distance. He's doing this one well. It's cutting it long, left and wide, however. First wide of the second half, and it comes for Doon. Just Kilmallock with two wides in the game. Interestingly enough, both those wides within the first quarter.
Yeah, absolutely, and Doon's tally has gone up now. I think is it to 6, Ger?
Yes.
Yeah, which is substantial, and there is nothing to suggest from what we've seen, particularly since half time, that there's any green shoots whatsoever of a Doon revival. Kilmallock are comfortably on top. You can see the way they're moving the ball around here in defence now, and Paddy O'Brien delivering it long to Gavin O'Mahony.
Standing firm is the Kilmallock rear guard. Tom Hayes just gets a hurley in ahead of Gavin. It's off to Darragh O'Donovan, trying to come out and scan up the field, see what's ahead of him. It's ball on the ground, off to Adam English. Well, he's been quiet. Off to O'Donovan now as they get forward, and the play on the helmet, says Johnny Murphy from Aaron Costello. It's going to be probably a yellow card for the Kilmallock midfielder and Limerick All-Ireland winner in 2020 against the other All-Ireland winner 2021, I should say. And it's Darragh O'Donovan going to get some treatment. Aaron Costello gets that yellow as expected. First Kilmallock man to get a yellow this afternoon. Two from Doon. Pádraig Ryan and Owen Mack have picked up yellow cards, as Adam English is going to have a cut off of this one. And
if
Kevin O'Donnell,
or if Doon ever needed a score, this is it, Ger.
And well, he does not leave his side down, does Adam English.
There's a reconfiguration there in the Doon half-back line. Cormac Ryan, as we said, is probably better in the half-back line. He's gone back into the half-back line. I think Darragh Dunnan has moved into midfield, but that remains to be seen. But like Doon needs to try different things. So it certainly isn't working.
Great hand from Robbie Haney on the puck out to O'Donnell, to Wolfe, but red jersey is converging now, and it's on the ground, anybody's ball. Micheál Ryan is in there. Who's going to win it? It's still anyone's ball. That looks like Cormac Ryan, and it is as the Richie English comes away with Darragh O'Donovan racing past two Kilmallock players. The third one coming now, and that's Paddy O'Brien, and Donovan has done well. He's got through the gap now, trying to fire up his team to the 21. Another challenge coming in as he gives this one back into the middle. Josh Ryan in space. Doon have a chance here. Second score in a row for Doon, and it's Josh Ryan who puts it over the crossbar. As we're going to see Johnny Murphy go and speak to Liam English, or is he going to one of his umpires?
Inspirational there by Darragh O'Donovan. He had no right to get past Oisin Riley and Paddy O'Brien, and then it's a good looping pass into Josh Ryan. You can kind of hear the Doon crowd. They haven't given up, and if the players can feed off that, like, we still have a game here.
Darragh O'Donovan with his helmet off, just looking to get a little bit of attention. Remember, he got that clip a few minutes ago from Aaron Costello, just letting sides reset.
It's a 10-point margin, you're right, Jack, but it is still manageable. But they need to make serious inroads into it between now and the water break, which is about 6 minutes away, and they need to keep up the momentum now. They're after getting 2 in a row, which is a boost, and at least it has arrested the Kilmallock onslaught. Now we will be coming to the stage with 20 minutes to go of normal time, where any possible fatigue from last week on the Kilmallock side would be clicking in. So it'll be very, very interesting.
Looks like O'Donovan is going to stay on the forwards as puck out is turned over, and it's Adam English to the aforementioned O'Donovan ahead of Liam English. Doon have got him in over here. Dare I say they need goals. It's Richie English well up to the 21. English steps inside. Dan Joy off over here to Patrick Cummins. A chance for Cummins. A goal for Doon! A goal for Doon! 7-point game in the Gaelic grounds, and a move that was worked superbly up the field sees Patrick Cummins put the ball into the back of the net. Bodies down all over the pitch, and I'm just looking at Micheál Houlihan and Micheál Ryan here. Darragh Donovan again receiving treatment over there. A significant score in the context of the game, Matt O'Callaghan.
Yeah, significant score, and contributed in the main by 2 big players. A huge score. Darragh O'Donovan, Richie English, right in the thick of it. Patrick Cummins' finish, absolutely first class. Obviously, good application of the advantage by Johnny Murphy, but obviously something has happened here now. And no, Johnny Murphy is quite happy that nothing untoward has happened, although I think he's doing some book work.
Well, it was off the play, so he is talking to Micheál Ryan, but I think he's calling Micheál Houlihan as well. Yellow card from Micheál Ryan. No, he hasn't called Micheál Houlihan, so Micheál Ryan becomes the 4th Doon player to be booked now. And the crowd are beginning to come into the game. They can hear the noise from underneath us.
And there's no doubt Micheál Ryan is policing Micheál Houlihan. So,
well, now we've got an edge. It's Oisin O'Reilly that's through now from the break. In his hand, the goal for Kilmallock at the other end. And they're in raptures in the Gaelic grounds. When we thought that Doon had something back to fight for, they go straight up the field, and Oisin O'Reilly from the break off the puck out, in behind and into the back of the net. A man in serious form at the moment.
Absolutely, in blistering form, and like we've seen it, he has recaptured his 2018 All-Ireland form all over again. But I just couldn't happen but be amused at the little jump that Tony Considine gave up into the air there when that ball hit the back of the net.
Well, he wasn't the only one. I can tell you a lot of Kilmallock players were on their feet as well. That's a great hand from the sub in the second half sub, and that is Jack Cummins to Richie English. English going long, 2-1 in the square, and they're to Doon. A goal for Doon! And it's Josh Ryan who's got it. Johnny Murphy is happy that it's a perfectly weighted goal. It's 43 minutes and 50 seconds. We've had 3 goals in 3 minutes, Jack.
What a game here, Jared. And we said last week about Kilmallock's response to goals. They got a goal straight after Doon's, but Doon's response then emphatic. And look at the score, we're only 7 points in it. It was 12 a few minutes ago.
Long from Barry Hennessy to Gavin O'Mahony. They're rushing off him. It's Tommy Hayes who breaks it to the outrushing Chris Thomas, and he's fouled around the neck, says Johnny Murphy, and it's going to be Owen Mack from the goal to take it, or Thomas is going to take it himself. Fine young hurler is this young Chris Thomas, broken onto the scene in the last number of years, and well, a sound defender as he goes across the field to Cormac Ryan. It goes in behind him. Kieran O'Connor is there, and it's Pat Cummins who has it. Cummins strikes it left, but it's gone wide. And 7 wides for Doon now. Pat Cummins just maybe advised to keep that ball alive, keep it in play. Angle wasn't favouring him.
No, but he obviously saw the opportunity, but in fairness, Ger, the options were very, very few. But you're right, he should have probably kept it alive.
Well, route 1 from Barry Hennessy again as they go long to Gavin O'Mahony. He's hitting that ball from his goal to the edge of the far D, but Doon equal to the task. A goal came from it a minute ago. O'Donovan, a one-man show, taking it forward, but not foul. It's Gavin O'Mahony back to where he normally played for Kilmallock, the 6, as he hits it long and high, but only to the hand of Owen McNamara. Breeze just didn't catch that. O'Mahony far from his 14 berth now as he walks back up the field, but it's Doon who are attacking, and the ball is overcooked from Micheál Ryan, and it's Aaron Costello retreating, but Pat Ryan coming with all the legs God gave him. It's a great tackle from Ryan, and now a great tackle from Costello, and a great tackle from Paddy O'Brien as well. What hurling we have. It's Adam English back to Richie English, no relation. English is coming from underneath the Mackey stand.
What a score!
2-14 to 3-17 in the Gaelic grounds, and the latest one from Richie English is one of the scores of the game.
I think we all need this break, John, here at the water break.
As I shift my programme on top of Matt O'Callaghan's pin, we're on a water break, Matt O'Callaghan. We'll all take a shot of water here, but the game is back on.
It's back on, it's game on. Ger, if this is a microcosm of Limerick hurling, no wonder we're All-Ireland champions 3 times in the last 4 years, and I say that without boasting one iota. This is absolutely riveting. It's edge of the seat stuff, end-to-end stuff. Like we've had what? 5 goals, absolutely 5 goals in the game, absolutely tremendous. Now, Doon fell 12 points behind at one stage. 7 minutes into the second half, they have it now back to 6. The momentum would seem to be with Doon, certainly in the last 5 or 6 minutes. And like, you have to think at this stage, Ger, that, and I say it again, that, you know, if there is to be a carryover or a fallout from last week for Kilmallock, now is the time that tired legs and possibly tired minds after 80 hard minutes last Sunday would be inclined to click in.
Yeah, and you could see it there, Matt, and I suppose the difference with Doon as well. And Micheál Ryan hit a ball into the corner, into no one. Aaron Costello had plenty of time, but Pat Ryan sprinted from full forward. Adam English came from half forward. Eddie Stokes made a break from midfield. They turned the ball over, eventually recycled Rich English and get the score. And it turns into a 6-point game. It's only a 2-score game at this stage. As you said, Doon, momentum. Kilmallock will surely have heavy legs. They're yet to introduce a sub again today, which they'll surely have to bring on someone, Matt, just to freshen things up.
Yeah, at this stage, because there are definitely tired legs out there.
Just 2-1 in that quarter from Kilmallock, gentlemen. That goal, of course, from Kevin O'Donnell just after half time, and then that Oisin O'Reilly goal. The only other point coming from Micheál Houlihan, they had a wide in that period as well from Gavin O'Mahony, but definitely the attacking is coming from the Doon from the Doon side. If that is another microcosm, to use your own analogy a minute ago, Matt, it looks like Doon are in the advantage.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like Doon are on the front foot, but we know about these water breaks, and you know, water breaks can be absolutely notorious at times. And will they break? Will they break the Doon momentum? Very often we see that the momentum is broken when this water break takes place. But now the challenge to Doon is to pick it up straight away.
Well, it's 26-20 in layman's terms. It's 3-17 to 2-14 as Doon are on their own half-back line, not taken by Micheál Ryan, and off to Graham Mulcahy. Chance to punish here from Aaron Costello. Gets inside Mikey O'Brien, gets inside Micheál Ryan. He's got his brother-in-law Gavin O'Mahony with him. O'Mahony is through the gap. It's foul, says Johnny Murphy. And it's going to be a free in to Kilmallock. And, well, that is a clever free again from Gavin O'Mahony. Great run from Aaron Costello. Took 3 challenges there, covered about 30 yards. Going to be a chance for Kilmallock to go 7 ahead.
Great positioning by Gavin as well to be there to receive the pass. And once he received the pass, he went headlong for goal. And the Doon defence was left with no option but to foul him. And, you know, in the context of this game, it's now a 7-point. We were talking about a 2-score game. It's now a 3-score game, and we're into the last quarter.
And we're looking maybe for another big score from the East Limerick side. If you're a Kilmallock person, though, you're fairly happy the way things are going. Talk about Doon people. Hello to Jared and Brian McPartland, of course, watching us from the Big Apple this afternoon. And you'll be hoping for a miracle in the last 12 or 13. Hope things are well statesides. And it's with Eddie Stokes. You're attacking well. He's coming straight on. He's on the 21. He's done really well. Has he been fouled? No, he hasn't. Play on, says the referee. And it's Paddy O'Brien who clears lines, but only down to a host of red jerseys. Coming with his Graham Mulcahy. He blocks Cormac Ryan. What defence from the Kilmallock man as Richie English takes it back to Robbie Hanley, gets it away. It's with Jack Cummins who's trying to get on. And this tackling, this turnover from Kilmallock has been immense today to Paddy O'Brien, but Pat Ryan slips in between. Ryan is going on a run. The angle doesn't favour him. Good tackle from Aaron Costello, but back we come, says Johnny Murphy. Free into the Doon men. 3-18-2-14. Adam English surely to pop this one over the bar.
Yeah, but it's not a gimme. It's tricky. It's within his. It's in his locker, but it's slightly tricky. It's a bit of an angle.
The tackling here is absolutely top class. No one is given an inch. Like, if you have a player on your back, you're not getting that ball into your hand. It's going spilling somewhere else.
And as 12, about 11 and a half minutes of normal plus to play, it's Jimmy Quilty who's come from the stand. I can tell you he's now onto the sideline here underneath us as he's trying to bring his Chargers to a county senior hurling final. Remember, they were there a number of years ago, defeated by Napiershig, as the ball is worked out poorly. Doon runners up in 2020, runners up in 2018, and you've got to go all the way back to the year 2000 before they were in a county final, and how desperately they would love to get back there. Kilmallock, of course, as we said, champions 11 times in their history, as the ball is turned over by Doon. It's Jack Ryan. We haven't seen much of him. He's under fierce pressure from Aaron Costello. Tigerish. 3 Kilmallock men around. 4 now. Now the Doon men arrive. Has there been an illegal challenge? There hasn't, says the referee, and Johnny Murphy is going to throw that in. The official is very calm in his proceedings here. He's had a fine game this afternoon. Matt O'Callaghan has your own clubman.
Absolutely, and I'm not saying that because he's my clubman, but he's been rightly on top of everything. His application of the advantage has been excellent, and like any tight decisions he had to make, he made them from a position of being right on the spot.
Paddy O'Brien, it's taking the break off the puck out. Now Doon are tackling hard, and it's anyone's ball underneath. Jonathan Hayes is there calling the referee to throw it back in again. And the St. Senan's man, of course, who was busy officiating over the weekend as well, on sideline duty here this afternoon. It's going to be a breathtaking last 10. Doon needs something special, and they need it soon if they're trying to rescue something from this. It's Kilmallock who've been the team this afternoon. They've hurled well, and this man has hurled well. It's Liam English. As he gets it, he's hooked. Good hook, vital hook. And Pat Ryan urging his Chargers back the field to get going, as it looks like Dara Donovan now, who's been quiet since he made that goal a few moments ago. He's going to maybe cut this one in. We remember 2019, he had a similar one in Croke Park on the Cusick stand side. Will he go? No, he doesn't. He keeps it in play. He goes across the field. Kieran O'Connor is there with Eddie Stokes. Man behind the Doon man, if he can see him. He doesn't. He puts his head down, says the referee, and you're charging our way forward. Free out to Kilmallock, and every one of these little turnovers and frees, Matt, give more energy to Kilmallock.
Absolutely, and we saw a few of them. We saw a needless ball put out over the sideline there, and those simple little mistakes for this vital 9 minutes of normal time, and whatever Johnny will add on at the end, do need to cut out the mistakes, and they need to maximise every opportunity they get, and they need to put as much pressure as is possible on Kilmallock.
Sun in the eyes of the forwards down there. It's broken inside. Owen Mack reacts quickly and well. Thought Micheál Houlihan was in around the back, as Doon going to make another change. It's Dara Stapleton. He'll come in the forwards as Pat Cummins races away, gets it inside. It's 3-on-2 back here, and it's the 2 who win it. It's Pat Ryan trying to get something,
I
and
thought he pulled that right there, Ger.
On point, Johnny Murphy. Does he go for it?
I was just about to say, what let him do here now? He definitely has the ability to go for it, but you've 8 minutes on the clock, a 6-point game. I'd go for the point at this stage. I think there is goals in Doon.
Tony Ward, his hand is up. Is that go for it or go put it over the bar?
I'd imagine it's over the bar, but look, at the end of the day, it comes down to Adam. Everyone in the stand could be telling him to go over the bar, but if he feels he has the ability, which he does, he just might go for it. But it's a bit early, Matt, I think, to be going for it.
Patrick Cummins off.
Yeah, possibly a bit early, but
well, he's stepping back from it. So
he is.
Does he think he's got a chance? Loads in the Kilmallock goal. He hits it over the bar.
A word there on Pat Cummins. What a performance. Let's come in the last hour. Got 1-3, got that vital goal to get him back into the game, and he gave it all there.
3:18, 2:16. So we're 52 minutes since the water break. Doon have scored twice, both from frees and both from Adam English, who's been quiet from play.
We've just got a score from Kilmallock, George, just to interrupt them. It's at the second water break, it's Adair 16 points, Galtee Gales 1-6.
So Adair, the county senior football champions of last season, well in control in Kilmallock, as we have the small matter of a county semi-final here as well, and it's Doon who are trying to get themselves in play here. Well blocked by Philip O'Loughlin, and Kilmallock just stand firm, and it's Kieran O'Connor in a new invigorated role at centre back, hitting it long but breaking it forward is Micheál Houlihan. He'll fancy this if he gets a bit of space. He doesn't get that space, gets it off to Gavin O'Mahony, who tries to hand pass to Oisin O'Reilly, and Tom Hayes does well, the man who was with the Limerick senior hurling panel early in last season, who brings it away to Pat Ryan, long ways away from the goal. He looks like he's going to open up the shoulders and get it inside, but only finds the hand of the Kilmallock number 4 Dan Joy to Paddy O'Brien, and he now sweeps it long. I can tell you it's 5-on-2 up here, and it's 5 red against 2 green, as tired bodies and legs are well on evident here as we hit the final few moments. Kilmallock holding it up, and Gavin O'Mahony showing his experience there, wasting away a few seconds. We're into the last 6 minutes of play here, and it's just, you can see the tiredness just coming in now.
Absolutely, and it's nearly tiredness on both sides, but that you would nearly expect, from Kilmallock, but you just wonder, is there still a twist in the tail here?
Well, Robbie Hanley strikes it over the bar, and he does really well, Robbie Hanley, and that's a fine score from him. He's had a really good afternoon. Maybe not on the ball, but I can tell you he's made a lot of tackles in a green jersey at midfield. Paddy O'Brien with Adam English as the ball goes off the fingertips of English, and Owen Ryan giving advice down there, vital advice to the Kilmallock rear guard. It looks like Aaron Costello has slipped back into that defensive role as well, and we spoke at the start about maybe seeing him back a bit deeper, and he's had a fine game as well. Definitely that win in midfield is coming to Kilmallock with Hanley and with Costello, as we watch Kevin O'Donnell cutting this one forward down the line to Gavin O'Mahony. It's close to the whitewash, it's gone out over it, and it's going to be a sideline to Doon.
As good as the score nearly at this stage, George, have the ball down in the corner with 4.5 minutes to play.
Well, they're taking the sting out of the game. They're taking the energy away by all these little stoppages, as we watch Chris Thomas here going to cut this one forward and out, and he finds Adam English. He's got 3 ahead to aim at. It's 2 actually. It's Darrow Stapleton, the man just on the field of play, but in front of him is Liam English, and well, he's been very tidy this afternoon. To Kieran O'Connor, off his left to Kevin O'Donnell, deep from his full forward position, racing away from Josh Ryan. He's not got too many to give it to, and Ryan has turned him over somehow. Back on the front foot is the Ula man. He strikes it in. It's going to drop wide though. It's going to drop wide. 8 wides for Doon, and shouts underneath has come from the Kilmallock side. Is there another change someplace for Doon to bring something out of this game? It's hard to know. It's Barry Hennessy with possession. It's Kilmallock who've controlled things here in the Gaelic grounds. Short to Dan Joy. Paddy O'Brien ahead of him if he wants him. Jack Ryan being urged to push on. That's what he does. It's Kieran O'Connor. Slips it to Paddy O'Brien. Crossfield ball. Oisin O'Reilly and Graham Mulcahy both there. It breaks behind him as young Cummins goes back, Jack Cummins, but it's O'Reilly who has it, and his shot is wide, as we see the advancing umpire there, just a fourth wide of the afternoon for Kilmallock. Is it gone beyond Doon?
It certainly time now isn't their friend, because we have just entered into the third last minute of the game, and that was a sight that we're just after seeing that Oisin O'Reilly hasn't seen too often. The umpires waving wide after he taking a shot at goal. Kilmallock in the position of danger.
Robbie Hanley has started this move. He's advanced. He's heading to the D. It's opening up for him. It's to O'Reilly. Has he a chance to wrap it up? A shot. It's all over. And O'Reilly finds the back of the net here. 4:19 to 2:16. A move started by Robbie Hanley. He was the provider to O'Reilly. He made the first mistake, but by God, the second time, did he find the corner of Owen Mack's net? Robbie Hanley, Matt O'Callaghan, surely a candidate for man of the match.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, it's his work rate off the ball as much as on it, but that was a fantastic run, and he picked out Oisin O'Reilly. But fair dues to Oisin O'Reilly to make himself available in the position that he did, and Oisin O'Reilly from that distance, as the goalkeeper in the world would have stopped it, John.
And since the water break, we've had 1-2 from Kilmallock. We've just had those 2 points from Doon, and it suits. As we await a Doon player, seems to have taken an injury here. It's Chris Thomas. And it looks like Micheál Barry is going to command the field of play. And, well, credit Kilmallock. They came here today knowing they were outsiders. But, my God, have they worked hard here and produced a stunning performance to put themselves almost in the county final, as we watch Paddy O'Connor and Killian Hayes about to command the Kilmallock team.
Yeah, the amount of energy that they have, shown right up. We wondered with 20 minutes to go, were they beginning to tire a bit, and it doesn't seem very little anyway. Well, after 80 hard minutes last week, this is a great performance.
Winning brings energy, and it's Graham Mulcahy in the middle. He's played a huge part. Mulcahy off his left. It's going to drop into Owen Mack's hand, and well shielded by and protected by Tom Hayes there from the in-rushing Gavin O'Mahony. It's long and high from Richie English now, trying to find a hand of Dara Stapleton maybe, but it's broken down. Lots of green jerseys, and Philip O'Loughlin, the Kilmallock captain, coming out. Kilmallock about to get themselves back into a county hurling final.
Cleverness there again by Paddy O'Brien, showing all his experience. Adam English was on the sideline, he just flicks it out into the stand. Slowest thing down, allows Kilmallock time to reset, and I suppose it's a complete reversal of last year's semi-final when Kilmallock came in with 2 wins. Doon had come through the quarter-final and won the game, and it's Kilmallock's day today so far.
Well, David Wolfe and Oisin O'Reilly getting a fair reception underneath us here as we watch Darragh O'Donovan going to cut this one in. It's O'Donovan, cuts it right into the edge of the square, broken off by Jack Ryan. It's not dealt with by Kieran O'Connor. He deals with it now, kicking it out as Adam English has it. Shot from English, ooh, and it's blocked by Philip O'Loughlin, going to be a 65. Don't think it was on the way to the net.
No.
But it's gone out for a 65 anyway, and we're in injury time here as Killian Hayes retreats in front of Richie English, and Doon about to go out of this year's Senior Hurling Championship, a team that had 2 wins in the group stages, straight to the semi-final. Other semi-final coming up, that is Patrickswell and Napiershig, as it's played in by Richie English, and it's Aaron Costello, body on the line back there now, as Pat Ryan has got it, and well, it's been intercepted by Graham Mulcahy, teammates with Limerick. Another man that's a teammate with them is Aaron Costello, and it's Mark O'Loughlin that's coming out. O'Loughlin across to Killian Hayes, turning onto his right side to Micheál Houlihan, advancing. Nobody inside, only Gavin O'Mahony, and he's off to his left as Houlihan strikes it over the bar. What a score from Micheál Houlihan. Carries the tally for 20 to the day, 4-20 for Kilmallock. They conceded 5-17 last week. They were the team that looked like never scoring a goal in that South Liberties match. They got 4 today, Matt O'Callaghan. This has been a superb performance from the Balbic.
Absolutely superb performance by Kilmallock, and it just gives you a sense of how much they took out of last week's game and the importance of last week's game. And like as you mentioned there during our halftime chat, that that you know, that there is no substitute for a hard championship game. And obviously, even though it was a weak turnaround, Kilmallock managed it very, very well. And obviously, their propensity to concede goals like they did against South Liberties, they obviously worked on that as well.
Well, they're about to roll on here as we watch Conor Staunton. It is who's come on the field of play in there with Darragh O'Donovan. And well, Graham Mulcahy and Darragh O'Donovan just getting to know each other. And it's just petering out here now. It's an inevitable Kilmallock victory.
Yeah, inevitable is the word there, Ger. And Kilmallock won't mind this at all. Just eating away at the clock. It's Kilmallock's day, really. And there can be no complaints from Doon. They failed to perform for the first 2 quarters.
I would have thought that Darragh O'Donovan and Graham Mulcahy would know each other quite well without wanting to be reacquainted at this stage in the county semi-final.
Yellow card for Conor Staunton, just from Johnny Murphy. Things settle down. Doon going to get a free. Matt, Kilmallock invigorated. New energy, new life. We're beginning to see the birth of a new Kilmallock side. We're seeing it.
Absolutely, we're witnessing it. You know, and like when you contrast it against the performance against, like in their performances to date, like they have been living on the edge. Very, very lucky to get over Ballybrown. Took a bit of a trimming from the Piershick, you know, and needed extra time to get over South Liberties. But here they are today with, you know, the real Kilmallock has really stood up when it mattered.
And it's no Kilmallock forward beyond their own 65, and Gavin O'Mahony coming into picture, but it's they've all retreated back now as it goes in, and Barry Hennessy, dare I say, it's the easiest one he'll give out this afternoon to Kevin O'Donnell. Long and high, and Gavin O'Mahony getting his hand up trying to see, but it's Tommy Hayes who's come underneath it. He's got Killian Hayes with him, and we're playing the final moments in the Gaelic grounds. 4:20 to 2:16, as you can see, as strike comes in from Micheál Barry. It's on the edge of the square and tidied up by Liam English. Out to Kevin O'Donnell, and well, that's the final piece of action, and it's Kilmallock who are back in the county senior hurling final for 2021. A performance marked by goals this afternoon. They came in the fashion of just 4. Oisin O'Reilly's goal on 43 minutes was their third of the afternoon. His one on 57th was their fourth. It was a game that they dominated right from the second water break, right from the first water break. One that is hugely competent, hugely energised. Their tackling, their turnover rate was absolutely phenomenal. They will go to a county final, Matt, with huge confidence at their backs.
They will certainly go to the county final with a spring in their step after that performance, and you're right in identifying that what was probably the defining period of the game was that second quarter when they really drove on, and I think they had a 2-point advantage going into the first water break. They converted that into a 6-point advantage, having played against the Breeze. Now the Breeze, you know, it had a tendency to freshen up from time to time, but it wasn't a big factor. But psychologically, you know, it was something. But you know, we wondered and we waited, thinking that, you know, tired legs, tired minds would click in after the rigours that they were through last week with South Liberties, but maybe showed signs of it for a couple of minutes. But they became re-energised again, and like they finished completely on top, and if anything finished on the front foot. Like it's a very, very disappointing end to the campaign for Doon. They would have come in with high hopes. They were obviously buoyed by you know, a sense of atoning for last year's county final, and they really wanted to get to this year's county final and have an opportunity, maybe, to put their name on the Daily Cup for the first time. And they came here with a certain level of confidence, Ger, and a certain level of justified confidence, because as we were just saying there before the end of the game, Kilmallock certainly didn't root up any trees in the campaign to date. You know, the omens for Kilmallock weren't really good. Beaten by the Piershick, just got over Barry Brown, needed extra time, and conceding five goals to
South Liberties.
Not ideal, not certainly the ingredients, or certainly not the form guide that you would expect, and that you could anticipate a performance like we're after seeing out here today. But I suppose a worry for Kilmallock, if there is a worry when you win a county semi-final by 10 points, have you played your county final and semi-final there? But I feel this Kilmallock team are getting better. You spoke about a new Kilmallock, but there's a hard core of experience in that Kilmallock team who've been through it all. There are I'd say 5 or 6 or 7 of that Kilmallock team who have in their locker at home 3 county medals and a Munster medal, and that counts for something, John.
Well, the last win for Kilmallock last time they had the Daily Cup was in 2014, and just their last final appearance was in 2017, losing to Napier-Shig 214 to 122 on that day. Semi-final losses in 2018 to Napier-Shig, 2019 to Napier-Shig, and 2020 to Doon. So they've come today. Today was their 4th semi-final in 4 years, looking to break that duct of getting to a final. And, the bones of the team are there, as you said, from 2014. But let's talk about the new guys in the block. Oisín O'Reilly, how good was Oisín again today? Micheál Houlihan, quieter. Robbie Hanley, outstanding in the middle. And their rear guard, Liam English, very tidy. Dan Joy, Kieran O'Connor. These are new players that we will talk about.
Yeah, what must be very encouraging from a Kilmallock point of view, you have the leaders there. You have the Paddy O'Briens, and you have the Gavin O'Mahony's, and you have the Philip and Mark O'Loughlin's, the leaders. But you have leaders now in waiting. You have the Dan Joys of this world, Kieran O'Connor, who I thought was immense again today. You've Robbie Hanley, you've Aaron Costello, and then what about Oisín O'Reilly and Micheál Houlihan, and of course David Wolfe. Absolutely, it's happy days for Kilmallock for now. But you just wonder, like Barry Hennessy, Mark O'Loughlin, Philip O'Loughlin, Paddy O'Brien, Gavin O'Mahony, Kevin O'Donnell, Graham Mulcahy, a lot of hurling under their belt. They didn't show that today, though. They were really, really up for the fight and really leading the way again. And we're just looking down here. It appears that for the 2nd week in a row that Oisín O'Reilly has been named the man of the match.
And he 2-4 to his name this afternoon.
Yeah, and that's 2-11 in 2 games, and it's all from play. That's nearly a match-winning score on its own.
Well, he'll be one that whoever advances from the 2nd semi-final will want to keep an eye on. It's Oisín O'Reilly in a rich vein of form at the moment for his club Kilmallock, and I'm sure catching the eye of Mr. John Kiley down there as well over the last couple of games. Just we cannot leave our broadcast this afternoon without a word for Doon. Matt, sitting and waiting for a semi-final. It was only their 3rd game in the championship this afternoon. Obviously the format of having just 2 group games now, both in which they won, puts them into this position today. It's their 3rd game. You mentioned right at the end of the game the dreaded semi-final, and it falls a pass for Doon again today.
It did. And at the risk of being repetitive, we did say about the advantage of playing a game, or the advantage of having a break. There was no question about it. There was a certain rustiness about Doon in the early exchanges, and sadly for them, you would think that come the first water break, that any rustiness they may have, they would have shed at that stage, but it didn't happen. The 2nd quarter was really a defining quarter in the game, because that was the one in which Kilmallock put their stamp on proceedings, that they really meant business.
And just as you go on from that, Matt, again, just to remind people, at the first water break it was 8-6. Kilmallock ahead by 2, and from there to half time it ended up Kilmallock 16-10.
Yeah.
And that was significant. And on the 39th minute, which is just 9 minutes after the restart of the 2nd half, it was Kilmallock who held their biggest advantage in the game, 2-17 to 12 points.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, you know, and like credit Doon, the way they battled back and they brought it back. I think they brought it back to a 5-point game, certainly
yes.
a 6-point game at one stage. Yeah, they brought it back in the 53rd minute when Adam English put over the point there. It was 3-18 to 2-16, and you said game on, momentum with him. It wasn't. You know, it was then we saw Kilmallock at their best. Now, Kilmallock fell back on numbers, in huge numbers. Kevin O'Donnell was playing corner forward. You saw the number of balls he picked up here in a half-back position, of course, which is his natural position. Like he's a converted forward. He has played an awful lot of hurling in the half-back line. But you mentioned it in your commentary that Gavin O'Mahony was the only one inside in the Doon half of the field practically. So like they defended in numbers and they actually crowded it out, and really Doon weren't able to make any headway. It was as simple as that, Ger. They will be gone home. They will be very, very, very disappointed. But I thought in the first half, and I made the point that when we were talking through the first half, I didn't think that Doon pressed forward enough. They left Kilmallock defence grow into the game. I would have thought that Doon would have come here having said, oh, this is a defence that conceded 4 goals last week. In regulation time, they conceded 5 in total. We'll try and test their confidence. They didn't.
Well, it's Kilmallock who advance here. We thank you for your company on Limerick GA TV. It's, a super win for Kilmallock. They win by 4 goals in 20 to 2 goals in 16. A miraculous performance from the men in green, who were here for 80 minutes last weekend. They turned on the style today. They led, as Matt O'Callaghan, as we just alluded to, 2:17 to 12 in the 39th minute. A 2-4 haul from Oisín O'Reilly gives him man of the match for this first semi-final. We're about to start preparations for the second semi-final here in a number of moments between Patrickswell and the Piershig. But for now, thank you for your company. We hope you enjoyed our broadcast. Congratulations to Kilmallock. It's they who advance to the county senior hurling final for 2020. Goodbye and God bless.